Hey, hey, Lady TC's in the house, holy watchers and divine messengers, chosen ones. Yeah, I think y'all know what I'm going to talk about today. All this stuff going on. I'm here talking about Erev Tays and Trey and Einache. Listen, what does the scripture say? What does scripture say, y'all? Come on now, you know. It says, store ye not your treasures on earth, but store your treasures up in heaven. Huh? Materialistic things. You can't take none of it with you when you go, right? You know, I do not like laughing at people that have lost a lot of money regarding this because you've been duped. You've been duped by Satan, Shaitan, you know that. Yahushua Mashiach told you this. The scriptures tell you this. And, you know, in a way I do laugh because all my life I was raised a little frugal. I had an uncle who was very frugal, and he taught us. I grew up in the 70s. So we learned how to survive. It was me and 3 other siblings in the same house. And, you know, we had endured some tough times, but survived. And then as we got older, we all became successful and bought our own homes and living good and everything. And when we had children, then that age started creeping in about, you know, buying generic versus brand names and stuff like that. And there's not much we could do with our children. Society already had got to them. But as far as adults in today's society, you know, our Generation X, the majority of us know better than to be getting caught up in all this stuff. But you have entered this time, which is the year of Jubilee. We've talked about this before if you follow some of my Chosen One series videos on the Tubi. And Jubilee year, like Cat Williams told you in 2024, that it's a year of truths being told, karma, wrongs being made right. And that has gone from being this here at 2024, 2025, it's escalated, okay? It's going down. Everything's going to be made correctly. It's a global, nationwide, worldwide thing that's going on. All truths are being revealed. That's why you're experiencing chaos and things like that, because the Most High is making everything right. Earth is flipping on herself, making things right. That's what all the shifting and everything is about. It is not a time, is what I'm trying to tell you, to be investing your dollars in this type of stuff. It's time to save your money and be prepared for what's ahead. Make sure you're stocking up on food and all that. And a lot of people say, prepare. They said that stuff about Noah, making fun of him, right? Look how that ended up. It's time to get serious. And let me tell you something about these here people. Are they your buddies? Are they your friends? For years, they've come over here and get tax breaks when they move over here and open up shops. How many of us, my brothers and sisters, are spending money in these places? Nails, massages, hair, their food. Come to find out recently that synthetic hair covered in them chemicals, carcinogens. Why would you do that to us? But you gonna give us a speech right now how you're our friend and you're telling us the truth about all this stuff, and that the reason you're telling the truth is because you know it's not right, and that we took the money that we made off of all this stuff and invested it in our poverty amongst our own people and building roads, la-da-da-da-da. But your overseers and your billionaires over there, they're the ones that took it and bought yachts and spending it on vacations and helping their other billionaire friends. Okay, so that makes you different than them and how you spent yours? Huh? You still knew you were deceiving us just like they did. And that means you can't be trusted neither. This been going on for years. You've been getting away with lots of money. And you can't tell me that them brand names, you ain't getting a piece of that pie too. There's no way you're going to sell it for $1, $2. You create it and then you only let some of it go for cheap to them. And they're making a huge profit. You get a piece of the pie too. And look at how you sell beauty supply products over here to the predominantly young black women, tearing their hair all up, their scalp right here, the edges is coming off from that glue and all that weave stuff you're selling. You know darn well that industry got women deceived thinking they not good enough to go natural. You know, and you capitalize off of that. You capitalize off this nail stuff. Nails used to be $20, $25 a set to go in and get them done. Now it's like $50 up. And for what? Every 2 weeks you got to refill it. And you're putting them chemicals all over your nails, ladies. I hate to tell you, but it's seeping into your bloodstream through your nail beds. You don't know what it's doing to your body. Now, I'm not giving y'all a speech about going natural and all this stuff. I'm just trying to help with the awakening. Because the awakening is what God is. All this is really part of the awakening. What they're doing. And how money's being spent and everything. They're no hero telling you that you can buy through them direct and go to these little online sites. Matter of fact, you better be careful, because with everything going down and being in the middle of a war, you might get your money scammed and spammed online, stealing credit card numbers. That's happened many times before, and I wouldn't doubt it start happening again. If you buy any of this stuff, I say go through Google Pay. You better go through Google Pay. I'm not telling you to buy it. If you need to make a side money hustle or something, I say, yeah, buy it direct from a seller. Like some of them people do, and then they sell it at events or whatever, and then they, take it. It's your property once you buy it. I seen a guy who takes Air Force Ones, and he creates them and airbrushes them, and they sell them online. Now, that's very creative, and that's a smart thing to do. But everybody running out to get all this designer stuff, now you know the truth. None's different than the other. Of course, yes, some quality is a little bit cheaper or better than the other one, of course. It's just like when you go to a store, something's generic or something's name brand, but it's not that simple. Sometimes you go in a store and those ones are cheaper because they're not quite finished. It's more like that. And then if it's more finished and polished, of course, it's a higher markup. But what you got to start using is your discernment. Do you really need all that stuff right now? I saw a woman talking about how upset she was, and she showed all her pocketbooks that over the years she spent $500, $700, $10,000 on some of that stuff. Sneakers, clothing, pocketbooks especially. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Now, if that's the case, that this been going on, think about the cars that come over here from overseas. Are you really paying the cheap price for it? Or is it a big markup because of the name? You can't take it with you like scripture says. You can't. Store up not your treasures on earth, but you need to get into the spirit. And the way you're going to survive this thing is to turn to the Most High. Christ consciousness, the way, the truth, and the life, honey. That's the way. And this is God is nudging you more and more, letting you know that this stuff, you don't need it. You've been duped. What is this? What is Lucifer? Who is he? What does he do? What is his main thing that he does to human beings? He's the great deceiver, right? That means he's acting in front of you. Just like your celebrities, who are the main ones pushing this stuff on you, so you run out and buy it because you want to be like them. Think about it. They even slap their names on some of these products. They're pretty pictures, selling them in makeup stores and all that stuff, or clothing lines that they get. And you sitting there buying it, trying to look just like that celebrity for high prices. It's all deception. It's all being deceived. You better start using your discernment. Do you really need that stuff? For pennies on the dollar, this stuff could have been made and put out in the Dollar Tree for all you know. And it may not be good for you with all the chemicals and stuff that's put on it. Since when does synthetic hair need to be, and why does it need to be covered in chemicals? Those chemicals, what are they preserving it? Is it food that needs to go in the refrigerator? It doesn't need all that stuff. And I guarantee you they can make it without those chemicals. I think it's pretty nasty and dirty for them to do that to us. Okay? I don't understand why they would do something like that. And there's a sister online. I think you have to Google it to look it up. But she sells synthetic hair in her black-owned business, and it does not have the chemicals on it. She sells it chemical-free. I'm sure that costs more too now. But listen, you're going to have to start using discernment. You may want to go natural. I have nothing against people wearing wigs, weaves, and all that stuff to enhance your looks and stuff, or for peace of mind and feeling better about yourself. A lot of women had cancer, and then there's nothing wrong with that. And women get older, they wear wigs. It's always been that way. But now I'm seeing young women in their 20s, under 18, rocking that stuff every day, and the glue is eating up the hair. And listen, all the heavy makeup that we've never had to wear heavy makeup. All I'm saying is pay attention and use a little discernment, because this is not what the Most High intended for us, okay? And don't get caught up in rushing over there buying all that stuff. You need your money for other things right now, to be very cautious. And I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Be careful. Love you. Peace out. Love, light, and peace. Lady TC knows. Bye.